Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. Today is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2013. This will be my, I won't be doing a video on tomorrow. I'll be off tomorrow on Wednesday as well as Thursday for the U.S. market holiday, 4th of July. Independence Day, and then I'll be back on Friday, so in case you guys are wondering. And looking at today's market was very interesting. You saw yesterday having about the same thing. We had more selling today. Yesterday what you saw was this massive early morning fake rally, and then by the end of the day you saw selling activity, which forms this sell signal right here, the shooting star, where you have that long wick protruding from the top, showing that that's actually sell pressure there. You can actually look at this candlestick and see that 2/3 of the overall candlestick formation is selling, not buying. So that was just a fake move, and you'll see that a lot, especially on tops. And whenever you see the following day do the exact same thing, where we rally up and then that starts to fade in the middle of the day, and you start to sell off and sell off and sell off. By towards the end of the day, we had actually a sell signal here again, but by the close we had jumped up a little bit, and that gave us a different signal. But basically it still confirms the previous day's signal. You had the sell signal here, you wait for confirmation, meaning you want to see this low point taken out. That happened today, intraday, so that would have been your entry opportunity. The stop could have been set as tight as this point here. This would be your risk between these 2 points here, and then your gain potential would be much lower, because obviously you're looking at taking this level out here. Another thing to point out here, my stop is still set here. And the reason for that is that we can still just be in this overall bounce. We can goof off for many days, especially when you're looking at a market that's going into a holiday period or something like that. You can do all kinds of different things. It can go on for days, and you may take out this high and then form another sell signal and that kind of thing. There's lots of things that can happen. So my stop is still backed way up here. But if you don't have that risk tolerance, go ahead and advance the stop. Another thing to point out about this chart, you've had 9 consecutive days closing below this 50-period moving average. Whenever you're in a bullish uptrend, you will be able to find support at that level. Pullbacks at this level give you the best entry opportunity. Whenever you find that, again, we talked about this one, this is happening here. This is a perfect scenario. You pull back, you form the hammer candlestick formation at the 50-period moving average. All of that makes perfect sense. That's what you would be looking for if you're a bull. Then you see this pullback down here, bounce off it again. Then we come down here, we do something different, we close below it. At that point, you should know that something has changed. You can see the same thing developed here on the ultimate oscillator, clearly indicating something has changed. You were in a bullish uptrend, now you're in a bearish trend. Obviously, there's a high point here, low point here, lower high there, lower low here, lower high here. Trend is still down. There's going to be lots of news can come out. People can talk about Japan's interest rate. We can talk about the interest rates here in the U.S. We can talk about what's going on in Europe. We can talk about the Egypt issues. We can talk about Brazil. There's unrest all over the place, and all of that can be taken any way you'd like to take it. Someone could say, well, it's going to get solved overnight. And someone else could say, well, we're going to have the earnings start on July 8th. And you can have somebody else say, well, yeah, but we've seen the top line revenue number has been decreasing, and so we expect they're going to start to miss, and blah, blah, blah. You can read it however you want. The way I read it, I look at the chart. The chart's telling me that we've got this high point, lower high, lower low, sell signal. We got the ultimate oscillator indicating bear market. If I actually move down and look a little bit more, I can see that we're starting to roll to the downside, not only on the MACD, which we've already been in that mode, and the longer term chart still got plenty of room to run to the downside. But you can see the accumulation distribution line also indicating we are no longer in an uptrend here. We're seeing lower highs, lower lows. We're seeing people pull out of the market. Okay, that's the signal that I look at. All the other stuff is speculation. You can say this is going to happen, that's going to happen. It's good to keep an eye on it, but the real thing that's going to tell you when to enter or exit is going to be the chart. And the chart right now is telling you to sell these markets. Quick glance today at silver. We'll notice that you've got a sell signal as of yesterday in here, and then you got confirmation today. The stop will be set here because we are already out of this position. We've been selling this for a while here, and we've advanced the stop to this point here. We got stopped out with this move here, but you'll notice there's no hammer candlestick formation here, indicating this is just a bounce, and then you look for a re-entry opportunity and a test of this low here. So this can still have room to move to the downside. A lot of people still looking at, I'm looking for a bottom here, I'm trying to buy this, whatever. The red line right here is a 50-period moving average. You are in a bear market as long as you are below that. Quick glance now at the S&P 500, the SPX, and we'll be looking at the VIX as well. But you can see this candlestick formation. You also saw that on the NASDAQ and probably a few others. This is simply a doji. It means indecision by traders, and you will find them oftentimes at tops and bottoms. So in this particular case here, I'm looking at this as being a top, finding resistance. We broken below that 50-period moving average, this red line right here, and now we've bounced back up to it, found resistance, sell signal confirmation, and again a doji formation showing indecision, and we're going to just rolling over that thing we talked about yesterday. All we're doing is kicking one day up, one day down, one day up, one day down. We're just rolling over ever so slowly. It looks takes some time, but it's basically just resistance. We hit that signal and we start to just roll over ever so slow. Note again the doji formation here, the doji formation here. Looking now at the VIX, the volatility index, which runs basically the inverse of the S&P 500, is the options activity. So whenever you're concerned that your upward move and your stocks may be in trouble, you'd start to purchase some options to protect yourself, to hedge your bets, and that's what you're seeing with the VIX. Whenever it rises, that's what's happening. People are concerned, they're raising their options count, and then you can see that stocks typically fall in tandem. Whenever you have those two things happen, they're just inverse of one another. So the VIX will be rising higher while the S&P is going lower. And like I said earlier, when looking at the S&P chart, you typically get your doji formations like you have here at tops and bottoms. So here we have a bottom signal where we pull back down, and now we're forming that signal. Again, you've seen it before here, and the same time period you were seeing a topping signal on the S&P 500. So again, you're looking for this to move higher and testing this level here. You have gaps that you need to fill as well. Also, overall trend analysis, which would just simply tell you the highs and the lows. You see high point, low point, high point, low point, high point, low point. All of this is still an uptrend. Why would you not be a buyer of this pullback and tight stop right off this low? I do not know. I would. And you see again, you've taken out a previous high. Everything about this tells you it's very bullish, and that has to be very bearish for the S&P 500. Again, note you are now trading above the 50-period moving average on this red line right here, and that would be a bullish condition for the VIX, which would also confirm the bearish condition for the S&P 500. Quick announcements for everybody right here under the trade section at nightly tutorial analysis on individual companies. You might want to check that out, and you can learn all kinds of stuff about seeing it in real situations as opposed to just theoretical. And then also here in the market charts section, if you go to the market charts, those are my personal charts. They're updated nightly with my sell signals, stop loss limits, different technical analysis notes that I might put on my charts for you guys. Check them out. They're updated nightly. Also, you can go here to the technical school if there's anything that you didn't understand. I got some people asking, about the entry points and things like that. You can go here to the technical school and the trade school and learn all kinds of different trading methods as well as entry and exit points. Okay, that's all I got for you today. And remember, I'm off tomorrow. Again, if you've not been to the free website at perfectstockalert.com, it's 100% free, and all we ask in return, please refer a friend. And be safe if you're going to be out there on 4th of July drinking. Don't drive, etc., etc., and don't blow off your hand with any of that crazy fireworks stuff. Okay? God bless. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. The information provided herein is our opinion only. Under no circumstances do any statements here represent a recommendation to buy or sell securities or make any kind of an investment. You are responsible for your own due diligence. To summarize, we do not provide investment advice, nor do we make any claims or promises that any information here will lead to a profit, loss, or any other result. These videos are for educational purposes only.